Hey, what's going on, Washington football addicts? Tonight is a special episode, Thursday, June 10th. We are live, like we are literally live. We'll be streaming into Facebook, the Washington Football Addicts Facebook group.
And not literally like them Gen Zers say. This is actual literally.
Yeah, streaming live on YouTube. So we just want to welcome everybody to the show. As we get started here, we'll kind of kick it around for a few minutes before we actually get rolling into it. Let a couple people find a way to find us when they click into the group. So, fellas, how y'all doing tonight?
I am feeling really good. I've got my lovely. This is Phil, by the way. If you're new and have never watched before, our names aren't coming up at the bottom like they normally do. Thank you, StreamYard. But anyway, I am good, and I am about to enjoy 2 shots right now of Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey out of these fresh shot glasses that young Dev handcrafted himself for us. So, salute.
Salute. I don't have mine.
And Schlante.
I'm gonna get mine out. I'm literally trying to get my shit set up. But
all right,
personalize them all. You got the name on one side. You got the podcast
up,
established 6/5/20. As you all know,
good.
Just celebrate our birthday.
That's what's up. All right, well, let's just roll right into it. So, for those of you who don't know, you know how we open up the episode every time is we like to dedicate the show to whoever's episode is corresponding with the jersey number. So, Phil, episode 74. Top of my head, I can't think of any good 74s.
You can't think of any 74s? There's one in particular. One in particular that's of any importance to you guys. Come on now. Think.
74. That's a tough one.
The last remaining original Hog we have not talked about. George Stark.
No, wouldn't have got it.
Original Hog. And we already did Schlereth and all those guys too. So George Stark.
Jerron Christian. What are you talking about?
We are not going to talk about Jerron Christian because he is out of here. Thank God. George Stark played his entire career with Washington from 1973 to 1984. Yes, he was not with the Hogs too terribly long, but he was part of that first Super Bowl team under Joe Gibbs. He was right tackle exclusively throughout his career. And midway through the 1973 season, he picked up the starting role at right tackle and did not let it go until he retired in 1984. Stark was never a Pro Bowler, never an All-Pro, just a solid, dependable right tackle, but he was a smart businessman because he was the one who created Hogs Incorporated. So when the Hogs formed in 1982, when they were given the name and everything else, and there started to be a buzz around the name, he figured instead of letting the team start creating merchandise and things like that, we'll create our own merchandise. We'll get ahead of this game so we can make some money. Remember, it was 82. It was a strike year, and they're striking over low pay. So it's an opportunity for them to make more money, for the players to market themselves and to keep the money from that marketing through all the appearance fees and things like that they would do as a group. As those 5 all went through Hogs Incorporated, and that was George Stark's idea. So that man was a trailblazer in the sense of players taking control of their destiny, their marketing, and self-promotion as well.
That is what's up. Hey, we got the first comment already. We hardly even started. Here we go. Toan Redskins. Apke will get cut.
I don't know. Apke's out here. He's gonna be the first white boy to start at corner since Jason Sehorn.
Y'all some haters.
Yeah, that's true. That's Des boy.
Apke's
and I got a comment from Watch Addicts. Who's talking now? Tell me to talk too much.
Yes, I
Shout out
do.
to Phil.
Rodney.
All right, well, let's get right into it. So, quarterback battle. You know, last year, Ron made a mistake. He's saying it wasn't a battle, it was a competition. This year, everything's a competition, right? That's what he says. So, what do y'all think about the word competition? What does it mean to you? And what does it mean when he says competition? When we have Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, Kyle Allen, and Steven Montez floating somewhere out there in the ether. So, Deb, what do you think when he says it's a quarterback competition? It's open. What do we feel about that?
It's not open. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's not open at all. It's pretty much going to be Fitz's job to lose, which I get it. If you thought Heineke had a chance to win the job, why wouldn't he let Heineke start and let Fitzpatrick win the job from him? If he thought it was a real competition, that's what you would have done, right? Since he already knows the system, you would have gave it to Heineke and told him Fitzpatrick to win it from him. I mean, I figure that's normally how you would do it. But when you bring in a free agent that's making, what's he making, like 12 million? What's he getting a year?
10 with the riser at 12.
Right. You don't. That guy's not sitting the bench, man. Unless you beat him.
So you think Fitz is the number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
fair enough.
Number one. But I think if Heineke gets it, he's going to take the job. I've always said that if he gets in the game, it's over.
Yeah. What does that mean to you, Phil? Competition can't battle.
Really, the competition should be as to who's going to be number two. I think so. Here's the thing. All right. This is our media at work. All right. And I keep hearing guys like Kevin Sheehan, and I think Galdi even said this once, that our media market relative to other East Coast markets isn't a very tough media market. And that's true in that it's not a tough media market. But there are some definite weasels in our media, and they love to stir the pot. And then when things go wrong or things go awry, it's, oh my goodness, how awful. How did it happen? How did it get this way? There are guys who do that in our media. And then they do things like jersey burnings and celebrating quarterbacks getting released. Some shots fired. But anyway, you brought in Fitz. Now, Fitz isn't in on a tremendous contract, but he is making 5 with the possibility of making 6 times what Heineke and Allen are making combined. The money itself says it's his job to lose. Thank you.
What's Heineke getting, like $4 million?
Heineke got 1 point. He's getting like 1.25 this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So you make up a good question, Phil. So
800,000. So that's $2 million for the two of them. If Fitz makes his 12, he's making 6 times as much as they are.
I mean, really, we already know it's neither one of them. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. That's.
All right, hold that. Hold that.
We're not on that topic yet.
Hold that thought. So Dev, Phil brought up a question. Number 1, number 2. Who's number 2? So I talked about this on Manny's pod last night. Me personally, I think number 2 is Taylor Heineke, and only because I still think Kyle Allen will be the quarterback next year. I hate to say it. Them dudes love Kyle Allen. I fear for my life.
No, I think it'll be a whole new dude at quarterback next year if it isn't Heineke. It's gonna be a whole new dude, man.
Yeah, Heineke's playing well. There's flashes about him. The beat writers talking about he's hitting people. He's athletic. Kyle Allen, I think he might even start in the pup, man. I don't know if they're gonna just stash him, but I don't know if they would dress 3 quarterbacks each week. It just doesn't make sense. And they love Kyle Allen. So who's the number? So you think Heineke's number 2, Dev? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Phil, who's number 2?
Right now, I'd say Heineke. And you know what? I love this. I love that. I'm reading Rod's comment here. I'll get to that in a second. I love the fact that we're getting all these wonderful camp reports about Heineke because I want to know that if something happens to Fitz, we have a fantastic backup to come in. I hate having garbage backups. We've had garbage backups for a long time. I want to have good backups. I want to have depth at every position, including quarterback. And Heineke gives us depth at quarterback. And this is a good thing. But let's also remember, Heineke has played for 4 teams and has been cut 4 times. Fitz, yes, he's been on every other team in the world, but he makes the roster and he starts. He's been brought on for the last two teams to act as a mentor to a younger quarterback. He's trusted by coaches in the league. Heineke has been trusted to sit on the bench and to carry a clipboard.
And Rob brings up a good point out in Indiana there. Could Fitz be I think it's going to be legit competition. I wonder what Ryan Fitzpatrick cap hit hits if it's released. Could he be our Matt Flynn? Could Taylor Heineke be our Russell Wilson? Found out next on the next WF Addicts podcast. The reason I'm reading this for the audio crowd. But yeah, that would be crazy if we brought in someone like a Matt Flynn, i.e. Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it turns out Kyle and Taylor have it. I mean, who knows? I think though, no matter what, I think there's a great chance that Fitz will be number 2 by week 5. Our fan base, we clamor for the backup. Doesn't matter who it is, how good they are. We scream for the backup quarterback. The first sign of stress.
Y'all wanted John Beck.
Yeah, that's right. We'll move him. So our last topic when we started talking about Aaron quarterbacks, the Aaron Rodgers drama just will not go away. It will not go away. He hasn't reported for camp. Jordan Love is not looking good. The Packers are in a mess. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago when the first crap still flew. Would you take Aaron Rodgers? And especially if you had to pick up, $40 million cap hit, Dev, let's go to you.
100% I'd take Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
you would.
Yeah, 100%. I would take Aaron Rodgers. I'll take Deshaun Watson. Whichever one of them they're going to give us, I'll take them. Y'all crazy. Like you can't do what was the saying? He said you can't do basic things, basic people, or you can't do big things with basic people.
Epic things with basic people.
Deshaun Jackson.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson.
He was right. I mean, you can't do basic. I think our defense is not basic at all. Last year, our offense wasn't even close to basic. Our defense is extraordinary. I think it has a potential to be extraordinary. Our offense was not even basic last year. We were a vanilla-based offense. You knew where we were going. You knew what we were going to do every time. They just had to out-execute somebody to win. But I think that I would take Aaron Rodgers in a heartbeat. I don't know what I'd give up for him. Anything more than picks, no. I wouldn't give up Sweat and McLaurin, whatever that stupid deal I seen for Watson. Somebody posted 2 first, pick for McLaurin and Sweat. No, I will give up some picks though.
So I'm not talking picks though. So it's going to cost $40 million, give or take, right?
Yeah, it's $40 million for every starting quarterback though. That's good.
Not necessarily from their first year contract, but if you sign him, think about what you're not going to be able to sign in the future. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you're not going to be able to sign. He's only got 2 years on his contract.
You're not going to get a Montez Sweat. You're not going to get
Montez won't be able to. You'll see him in a contract in 2 years.
Deron
Payne or Jon Allen. You're not going to get.
Jon Allen's the only guy I worry about on that one. But we're projecting $40 million under the cap next year anyway.
That's what I'm saying. We can get rid of Landon and come off the books next year. If you had to.
Books. Hey, right. It's a $12 million cap savings if Landon comes off the books in 2022.
I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win now. Fuck all this winning 4 or 5 years from now. I want to win now, man. This is some bullshit. I don't want to win 6, 7 years from now. I
totally get it, but here's the conversation I need to have with Aaron, probably through his agent. When we draft your replacement, because we have to draft your replacement.
No, don't. Heineke's right there.
At some point next year or the year after, some point before your contract expires, we're drafting your replacement, Aaron. Are you going to pitch this same little bitch fit that you did when they drafted Jordan Love? Are you going to do that?
I don't think he was so mad about getting Jordan Love. I think he was so mad that we have all these holes on offense and guys we can't resign, and then you go draft.
He was mad about Jordan Love too. That he was mad about Jordan Love the minute they drafted him. That is a well-known fact. And you know what? And here's the thing. I get it. All right, you're one of the best. You were one of the best human beings to put on pads and a helmet, step under center, take snaps, and throw a ball. Get it. totally understand.
Man, I'll tell you what's going to happen, honestly, and y'all going to laugh.
We can't have. We don't want to inherit the same problems when we have to draft his replacement, as Green Bay did.
Man, I'd rather have them replacement.
And that's the problem I have. The other thing is, I like what Rod said. Rod just put in a comment. He said Rodgers would be cool, but the Packers have to take Fitz, a third, and a second-round pick next year. Cool. I mean, look, Julio Jones went for pretty much bargain price, relative to what people thought it would take to get him. So, maybe draft values are starting to come down a little bit. I guess inflation hasn't hit the trade route in the NFL so far, but no. There's so many issues with this Fitz thing that makes me with this Rodgers thing that makes me say we have to be sure that we're not going to see a repeat of this situation in 2 years.
Yeah, to me, it's a culture thing. I think Ron's building. We know what we're building. All the building blocks, the puzzle pieces are going to be in place, and all it's going to need is insert a quarterback who's not going to cost you $40 million, i.e., someone on their first year deal, or Kyle Allen, or a Taylor Heineke. So we got another comment from I know this is old Cody. It's his Facebook user, but I know that's Cody. Who is your surprise cut? And who is the starting O-line? It's a good question. Surprise cuts. So let's think about where we are deep at. Wide receiver, secondary. Those are the two deepest positions. As far as surprise cuts, I don't know if any of those will be deemed surprise. I don't. Y'all think of any surprise cuts? I don't see any shockers.
AGG getting cut would be a surprise, just because you don't cut a guy you drafted out in the second year. But I think it could happen. Just like I think Steven Sims is going to get cut. I think Isaiah Wright's going to get cut.
Yeah, Sims getting cut would be the closest thing to a surprise, even though I think we've all said it at some point in time that dude's getting cut. To be honest with you, I mean. That's all. Sorry, this is from Jason Donovan.
I'm really trying to think.
I think what's the left tackle that played left tackle for us last year? Lucas. That would be a surprise, but I can kind of see it happening if they keep playing Charles at tackle, and he's also playing there with Leno and the guy we just drafted,
Cosme.
Yeah, why would you keep 4 tackles? I think he might be out because of that. But I'm wondering if they're not going to really play Charles at tackle. He's playing guard.
Well, yeah, if one of those tackles are interchangeable, then you keep them. But yeah, my apologies on that because it came up as Facebook user. That was Jason Donaway. Sorry about that. Cody, let's look at your comment. I think the wise move is to just see what Fitz does for us this year. Let's get a true gauge of whether or not we are actually one quarterback away from. I'm guessing you meant to say from winning, not the Marine Corps, but we feel you, man.
Hoorah!
Yeah.
Well, y'all didn't say who's y'all starting offensive line. Y'all didn't say that.
Well, that's the next pick. Go ahead, Phil.
Starting offensive line. This is so tough because there's so many position battles going on here. Rouillet is going to be your center. That one is set. Sheriff, unless something happens. Which I think the surprise move is we may see Sheriff traded. That's my dark horse move we make during training camp. But as it stands, Sheriff at right guard, Chase Rouillet at center, Cosme at right tackle, Leno at left tackle, and Wes Schweitzer at left guard. I know they're going to see Charles every chance, but Schweitzer played so well. And I've seen pictures of the first team offense with Schweitzer in at left guard. So I think it's his job to lose.
I agree with you. I agree with the exact same lineup. And I think that the only way Charles starts is if they trade Brandon Sheriff. And I think it's possible.
Well, here's the other thing, too.
If Schweitzer
Eric Flowers is on our roster.
Oh, exactly.
Somebody's got to go. And that's the thing is that you can't keep 13 offensive linemen.
If you got to cut one of those 4 guards, who you cutting though? Is it Charles? Is it Charles at this point? It's gotta
Charles
be.
is the one. Here's the thing:
Is it-
I'm not on the coaching staff, but Charles is the one I've seen least amount of.
Well, if you see Charles, if you got Charles on your team, are you just playing him at tackle to see if he can play both? Then maybe you cut someone else. But if he only can play guard or only can play tackle, do you keep him? And that would raise a larger question. Why the fuck did you get rid of Trent Williams then? You know, I mean,
Bruce Allen, man, that ship is sailing.
Nah, Bruce Allen didn't get rid of him though. Bruce Allen didn't get rid of him. He could have still started.
Bruce Allen poisoned the waters to an irredeemable point.
Man, they could have easily kept Williams the next year and trade him before trade deadline for more than the fucking 5th.
Hey, look,
Jason,
is this Jason?
Jason
he
Donaway,
said my line.
Yeah.
See that? You know what, Lucas? Here's the thing: who can play? Who's our? Okay, I guess we're keeping.
I agree, Cody.
We're keeping. What's the guy from San Diego State? I can't remember his name. We drafted him last year. Keith Ismail. We're keeping him as a backup center then?
Don't know.
Because I don't think anybody else. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with
Cody
Jones. Cody Jones said Sheriff has made it abundantly clear that he don't want to play here, so let's get fucking rid of him. I mean, I agree with that. I want Sheriff to stay here, man, but he don't want to be here. I'm not willing to pay a guard $20 million a year, bro. That's ignorant. There's no way.
I just hate the fact that we went from doing, as Galdi put the Kirk Cousins cha-cha-cha to now we're doing our Brandon Sheriff cha-cha-cha. Offensive linemen should not be doing anything close to a cha-cha-cha.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next topic. One of my favorite positions outside of quarterback. Let's talk tight ends. So we got Logan Thomas. We got Bates, we got Samus Reyes, and I think Tamarick Hemingway. Not Tamarick Hemingway.
Yeah, we do. We got
Hemingway and Ricky Seals Jones. So
and Marcus Ball, or we cut him.
He got cut last year. I don't know if he came back, but I'm counting 5. Even if we just say 5, right?
Okay, we'll say 5. Ball's the 6th man in that group anyway.
So Dev, question for you: how many do we keep, and who are they? Tight ends.
I think we'll keep 3.
Okay.
I think they're going to be obviously Thomas and the guy we drafted. What's his name?
Bates.
Yeah, and Reyes. I think we keep another one on practice squad though, but I think that's the guys we keep. And the reason I think we only keep 3, and it's possible too, but I think we keep 3 is because I think we're going to keep maybe an extra DB or an extra receiver than we normally would. That's the only reason I think that we would keep 3.
So you think we keep 3 active?
3 period.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's going to be interesting to see who the 52 guys are. But I'm still banking on. I think Bates is his name. You said right. I don't know. I'm horrible with names, but
yeah,
Bates,
he's showing some crazy talent in camp, man.
Plus, you don't draft a guy and cut him. You almost never cut a guy you draft. It almost never happens.
Unless it's Jamie Newman,
right? I'm sure something's done. I'm sure something.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. So
that's second
Phil,
year though, not in camp.
Phil, who are you? What's your tight end predictions? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to say this: I say we keep 3. The 2 locks are going to be Bates and Thomas. Logan was just so impressive last year. Definitely, he outplayed my expectations. Remember, I think I said that. I said, "Look, you give me 3-4 catches and 35 yards a game, Logan, I'll be happy." And he gave us more than that. So you keep Logan, keep Bates. So the question is, do we go with Reyes? Do we go with Hemingway? Because we liked Hemingway last year from what we saw of him, mostly in his blocking. He only had 1 catch. Or do you go with someone like Ricky Seals Jones? That's your battle as to who's going to be the 3rd tight end. And all my heart says Reyes. My head says Ricky Seals-Jones, and that's what I'm battling between. One of those two is going to make it.
Ricky Seals-Jones. I think Hemingway's going to make it over Ricky Seals-Jones.
I don't know, because Ricky Seals-Jones has more of a resume. He's done more in this league. Hemingway was a guy they brought in from Carolina, or had been in Carolina, because they needed another tight end.
But you see, the thing I have with it is that you always want to keep a developmental guy, and that's what Reyes fits in. Then the next guy you want to kind of be a guy that's been around and knows a little stuff. I get that, but in this case, you have a rookie who's not really a developmental guy, I guess, because he seems to be a legit tight end. He's not having to learn a new position or anything. But I think that you could get the veteran leadership and experience from Thomas, even though Thomas doesn't have a lot. To be honest, it is tricky. You're right. I don't know the right matchup, but I do think they're going to keep 3.
Let me put it this way: if they feel really good about Thomas and Bates, they'll keep Reyes as a developmental project. If they think those two, they can get by with just those two if they need to.
Reyes got to
keep Reyes because Reyes isn't just learning a new position. Reyes is learning how to play football.
Yeah, for me, I'm going with Logan, Bates, and Seals-Jones as the 3, and then Sammis Reyes on the practice squad. But what we don't know, what are the practice squad rules? Because they were last year, we had COVID. Can they stash veterans on there again? Can they not be touched? And let's go to Cody Jones's comment. I've watched a ton of Beasts and talked to some hardcore Boise State fans. Ton of them around here. They must be in the Midwest. That's right, you are. They all screamed that Bates was the most criminally underused player in their history. They're screaming, "Watch out for him to be a stud." And the word was that dude doesn't drop anything. Right. So you know what? My personal, like me, I don't want a 1,500-yard receiver. I don't want a 1,500-yard running back. I want 2 tight ends that will just wreck shit on the field because you can't stop it. You go out and you're 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver, single running back, and then you could split into Gibson, and now you have mismatches across the board. We've never done that. We had the opportunity to do it with Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis. Never did it.
Yeah,
very frustrating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Rod says Thomas, Bates, Sammy the Bull. So he's going those 3. So I think Reyes just has too much potential. You have to if you're not going to put him on the 53, he's going to be on the practice squad. He's not going. They're not going to send him kicking. Honestly, that would be a surprise cut to me. If that happened, that's my surprise cut. If Sammy Reyes gets that's a surprise to me because I believe that dude is either practice squad stash or on the 53.
Man,
I don't think
Reyes, 53. Sammy Reyes is going to be the next Marco Mitchell. Everybody love that dude. He never gets. He's going to be the next Heineke. Everybody loves that dude. He never is going to. Rest in peace to the Hawaiian quarterback too. We had.
Yeah, Colt Brennan.
Yeah, same way.
Just not away. Reyes could naming off the preseason
like a folk hero. And never played.
Yeah.
Like Sean Gilbert.
All right. So the next topic that's been in the news, and like I said, disclaimer, we're not talking politics here. So vaccination is an issue this year, right? We're coming out of COVID, we're coming out of a pandemic. Some rules are still in place. Teams were limited last year, right? But a lot of these COVID rules are still in place. What they can and can't do in the facilities, how close they can be, proximal access, stuff like that. And there's rules in place for those who are vaccinated and those who are not vaccinated. And this affects players and it affects coaches. And some teams are much higher than others, and some teams are way down. But I believe the bottom line is the teams who are vaccinated at a higher rate will be able to have much more freedom to do things the way they want to do things pre-COVID, as opposed to the teams who are not vaccinated. We're talking like Zoom meetings versus in-person meetings, stuff like that. So, with that being said, Montez was vocal about it. He said, and Ron brought in a specialist to talk about, the benefits of getting it straight up, not from the internet, not from TikTok, So the word is out there. They still get to make the decision for themselves. So, Phil, what do you think about all this whole vaccination protocols that they're laying on the NFL?
They're private business. They can set those protocols for their employees, period. That's perfectly fine. Look, anyone who knows me knows I'm the first person to say, I preach the right of the individual to do as they please. But at the same time, your employer has the right to say, hey, you need to do this, or to stress that you do this. Obviously, they're leaving it up to players to make that decision. Nobody's being forced to do it. But I think the goal they want to get to is like 85% vaccinated. Right now, the team, as of yesterday, was around 50. All the coaching staff is vaccinated, including Jack Del Rio. But people thought that he might have been one of the ones who isn't, but he is. And Montez Sweat didn't say flat out, I'm never putting that needle in my arm. He just said that he feels like he needs more information. Whatever. If he feels he needs that more information, then let him seek out that information. You know, in the end, it's his choice. That's a nice beer koozie that Steve has, by the way. For those who can't see, it's a little Washington Nationals jersey beer koozie. But anyway, simply put, it's his. Okay, we hear this all the time. It's his body, his choice, and I do believe it's your body, your choice, no matter what you're doing. It is your body. There you go. That's my little spit out politics right there on a specific issue. Take it for as you will. If he wants to hold out until he feels comfortable with it, that's his decision. It is new medicine. There are reasons to say, hey, you don't feel so confident about this. I want to know more. I want to see what happens in the longer term. All right, cool. Whatever. It's really not a big issue. It's just that because somebody said, hey, I'm not going to do this, and really his reasons for saying it weren't really convincing to me. I don't think he's fully informed himself. To be honest, I just think that people should just leave him alone. I know it's a great point for people on Twitter to run to one camp or the other and virtue signal and run and pick a side. No, there's no side to pick on this. It's his decision. Let the man live. You know?
Yeah, what do you think, Dev?
Man, I don't give a shit. I mean,
yeah, me neither.
I mean, no one got vaccinated last year, and we didn't have anybody catch it. So maybe just keep being safe like you was, man. I got vaccinated. I don't know if you guys did, but I've been vaccinated since April 3rd, I think.
Yep.
I did it because I have a disabled son. He's high risk. I like to visit every day, so that's why I got tested. Not so much for me, but for him. And so if you don't want to get tested, I get it. Just wear your mask and be considerate to other people. And it seems like they have been doing that. So to each his own, man.
I don't think it's about the personal choice. I mean, I think it's about that if you don't, then the team will be limited. And I think it's the coach. The coaches aren't trying to say you will. They're just trying to make their operations as easy as possible. And the easiest answer is to be vaccinated. But that doesn't necessarily mean that
be a good teammate,
that's the
man,
right answer.
If you want to be a
not
good
a good
teammate,
enough reason. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
But if you don't want to be,
if he's not comfortable with it, people aren't putting themselves in that position. If you're not comfortable with something like that, would you do it?
Right.
I get it. I totally get why. I got closest friends don't get the shot.
Look, I'm speaking as someone who got vaccinated, and I got my second shot weeks ago. Actually, over a month ago. So I went and got vaccinated because I felt comfortable with it. Just because he isn't, all right. Well, that's if others want to convince him to be more comfortable with it, then he can have those conversations with his teammates, with the coaching staff, with whatever experts they bring in. And apparently, when that expert came in, there were apparently a lot of people were asking questions. It was a really good dialogue, really good back and forth, and that's a good thing. Bring in nonpartisan, they're not on one side of an issue or another. They're just people who have facts. They say this is what this is what this isn't. Yep. And go from there. That's all you need to do. But in the end, look, if the goal's 85% and he's the one guy who keeps them from 100%, we're still at what, 98? I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
He said half the team hasn't taken it. So why are we just focusing on Sweat?
Well, because they haven't gotten. Not every. They're saying half the teams receive both shots if they're getting two.
Yeah.
So some guys maybe have one but haven't gotten the other, things like that.
All right. So moving on to the next topic. Speaking of Montez Sweat in his position as defensive end, after the loss of old RK91, old Kerrigan the GOAT, the Washington football team leading sack leader.
Traitor.
What do y'all think about going to Philly? I have to turn my back on you now. Oh, Goodfellas style. What do y'all think about the defensive end position? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, outside of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, you will struggle to know who any of these dudes who have the defensive end label next to their name on the roster.
So can Ioannidis play a little defensive end?
Maybe
Ioannidis can play.
Settle got what, 6 sacks last year? Settle? That's like a third defensive tackle.
Yeah, but we're talking about defensive end. Just strictly defensive end.
I'm just saying that means we're going to get a pass rush regardless. I think we'll be okay.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, Shaka Tony's been playing some defensive end and has been playing really well. I liked Shaka Tony coming out of Penn State. I'm a Penn State guy, so I'm a little biased. But, they got some young guys back there that are using as depth and developmental pieces.
Junior Gallette's available.
That's right.
No. Junior Gillette gave me the Heisman shove when I tried to get him on this podcast. There, I aired that out. No, I'm not rooting for him to come back to this franchise.
I signed Junior and his belt to play defensive end, man. We got all this, man. I fuck with Junior, man. I like him.
Well, let me read these names to you. All right. William Bradley King, I believe we just drafted him. Jalen Jelks, James Smith Williams, Montez Sweat, Shaka Tony, Casey Toohill, Chase Young. At least right now, those are the people on the roster playing defensive end. And they might be,
Well, Toohill played a little bit last year too.
Yeah, but doesn't that scare you though? Imagine if Chase Young tweaks a hammy. Then what?
Well, if one of these young guys is playing well, and I'm hearing that a couple of them are, I'm not worried.
Yeah. But this is just camp, no pads. It is a little scary, if you ask me.
It's a little, you get a little, when you think about worst case scenario. But like I said, I like Shaka Tony.
I like John Smith Williams. James Smith Williams.
There's so many guys with hyphenated names that throws me off.
James Smith Williams. That's the guy I think is going to be there.
James Smith. Yeah, that's that dude I've been hearing buzz about too, that they think that he could be a really good contributor off the bench as a rotational piece.
I think he's
so. And William Bradley King is really raw. Like he's really talented, but really raw. If they can develop him like they develop some of these other raw players, I'm not worried.
Yep. So moving on to the rookies in minicamp OTAs, we're hearing a lot of talk, a lot of buzz about some of our rookies. You're hearing some nothing about some, and you're hearing a lot about a few. You can't get enough of Benjamin St. Juice. That dude's everywhere. And right now, they said that John Keim said that he's been lining up opposite of Kendall Fuller, not even opposite of William Jackson or even in the slot. He's lining opposite of Kendall Fuller. So I don't know what that means, but Benjamin St. Juice is getting all kinds of burn. He had 3 picks in 3 days off of Fitzpatrick. That's scary.
That was Derek Forrest.
Derek Forrest. I'm sorry.
The Juice has been too, but not.
He's been blanketing Terry. Is the latest that we've heard, that we've seen, and that says a lot. He's making a splash. And then you've seen some De'Ami Brown footage. Quick, got good hit. He's wearing number 2. I think he's wearing number 2.
I'm gonna bring y'all back to earth, man. Look, last year a guy named Troy Apke started free safety for about the first 3 or 4 games. Man, imagine how nice this motherfucker was in practice that we didn't get to see because we went on cameras in practice because of Corona. He must have been just like Juice and all them guys and getting all starting buzz, and he was terrible. So y'all everybody here talking about, Juice, he's gonna play good. And the other guy you said, what's his name? The safety, Derek Forrest. Y'all, everybody's like, he's nice and all this stuff. I mean, imagine how Jesus-like Apke must have been last summer.
I don't think he was. I just don't think they had anybody else.
Man, come on, they had Sean Davis. They had Everett
Sean
and
Davis
fucking,
played like
they had
ass
Everett
in
and
training
they had
camp. That's
Everett.
why.
They had Everett and Reeves, and they both looked like starters in the NFL. When they got a shot, Apke still started over them. So you can't
Because
say, well, we
Apke is a
didn't have
better
nobody.
athlete, and that's
We
what they
didn't have
went.
no. We didn't have nobody. Well, we didn't have nobody, but we had the dudes on the bench that was better than him. Obviously, we had other people. I'm just saying, man. I just want to bring y'all back to earth, man. It's probably going to be Curl and Landon starting safety. So, I mean, y'all can talk about Forrest all you want to. It's probably going to be the guy we got from Cincinnati and Fuller at corner. So y'all can talk about the new guy all you want to, but that's what it's going to
Curl
be.
is not playing free safety. I'm going to tell you that right now.
But
Curl
isn't he
not playing free safety? He's going to be a nickel safety. He's going to be playing closer to the line. He's going to be a hybrid. Him or Landon will be our hero back. They'll be like a hybrid linebacker safety.
We're in subs 90-something% of the time anyways. So who gives a shit? What I'm saying, the dudes on the field the most is going to be them. Unless they get hurt. That's the way it's going to be.
But then at free safety, you have a battle. You have Jeremy Reeves. You have Derek Forrest coming on. At corner, you've got depth. St. Just, I liked St. Just coming out of college. A lot of people are like, oh my God, we took him too high.
I thought Derek Forrest was a strong safety anyways.
Is he he's not. He's playing free, dude. He's covering. He's out there doubling on receivers, not tight ends. He's coming from. He's a free safety. He's very rangy. He played both at Cincinnati, but he's free.
I hope he balls up though. I ain't gonna lie. I hope they all ball up, make the team. But it's really a big stretch to think that dude's gonna come in and take the spot over a guy who's got Pro Bowl potential at corner, like just off the street. Like
here's the thing. Here's the thing with St. Just. Do you know? I think he's kind of his elevation, maybe pushing my man Jimmy Moreland out of the picture, and that may be my surprise cut for you right there.
I don't think they cut Jimmy Moreland, but he might not start.
I don't know if Moreland even makes the team.
He doesn't start anyway. You mean let me start talking about nickel or dime?
Yeah, nickel or dime, yeah. But I mean, like I said, we're in subs. We're in subs 90% of the game, so that's a starter.
True. All right. So what do y'all think about? We talked about tackles earlier, right? We talked about depth on the defensive end line, and we didn't really talk about defensive tackle. Okay, so the man due up for a big contract soon. The first one is Jonathan Allen. He's going. I think he's going into his 5th year extension. 5th year. So all signs, I believe, are pointing to he's going to get signed. I don't even know if I'm spelling his name right. He's going to get signed, right? The problem is what is that going to cost, and what does that mean? Dev, what does that mean? Will he get signed? And 2, what does that mean for other defensive tackles and salary purposes?
He's going to get paid. I don't know if he's going to get paid, $22 million like Aaron Donald. But I can see him getting, Kenny Clark or, Chris Jones money. Kenny Clark got 17 mil. Chris Jones got 20. I can see it, especially with that 40 million sitting there next year. I can see it. Then you're going to have to worry about Deron Payne in about 2 years after that.
Yeah.
Then you have to worry about Ionitis, and then you have to worry about Settles.
That's the thing I was talking about. So if you sign Jonathan Allen to a big deal, I don't think he's worth top 5 money. I think maybe top 7. But he's not worth Aaron Donald. And the problem is his numbers don't show that, right? His numbers don't show that. His advanced metrics kind of show that. Hey, what's up, Big Simple? Thanks for joining the show, man. We lit over here.
I'm all for just starting Payne and Ionitis and keeping Settles cheaper. I mean, I love Allen, or I'm whichever one's the most expensive. That's a guy I would be okay with getting rid of. Okay. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's that big of a gap between Payne and Allen, or Ionitis Payne, or Ionitis and Allen. I don't think there's that much of a gap where if I had to pay one 13 to 14 million and one 18 to 21 million, I'm gonna get rid of the 18 to 21 million guy. Yeah, personally, it's almost the same way we're going to have to look at it at guard. Like, we'd love to keep Sheriff, man. 20 million, I can't do it. I could get 2 of you
Well, 18's the basement for him. He's making 18, so
Right.
you can't go
That's what I'm
below
saying.
18. And you know
Right.
what? There is not one guard in the NFL who makes 18 right now.
Man, if he
That's-
gets
that's
franchised
tackle
again
money.
next year, next year, it's 21 million. That's what I'm saying.
You
There's
gotta
no way
cut-
it's going to happen. You're going to have to trade him or cut him, man. Or he's going to play for. He's not paying for less than 18. You got to pay that dude 20.
Yeah,
It don't make sense.
What do you think
right
about Josh
now,
Allen, Phil?
if you were to pay him 16.5, he would be number 7 amongst defensive tackles.
So do you give Payne 16.5 next year too?
You can't.
So you're gonna have 30. You're gonna have $32 million at tackle.
You can't do that.
It all depends. Here's the thing. Let's be real. They got to keep 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably one of the 3 is settled.
They like Allen the most, I think.
I do too. I think so too.
I think they see Allen as a de facto captain. Even if he doesn't have the C, he's still a leader on that team. And if you look at all the Pro Football Focus metrics and everything, he's one of the best defensive tackles out there. I would start at like a 16.5 if I was trying to negotiate with him.
Where are you going to start with Payne next year?
That puts him ahead of Cameron Hayward, puts him ahead of Javon Hargrave.
What are you going to get Payne? Where are you going to get Payne in a year or two then?
Well, it depends on what he does this year.
Man,
if he falls off of it this year, then he loses some value. This is the game you have to play.
At the end of the day, though, they have to do whatever they can to keep both Allen and Payne. I would let Ioannidis walk. Peace, dude. Peace out.
Man, I think he's better than
either one. And I don't know. I think Ioannidis can sometimes Ioannidis is better than 2 of them.
Yeah, we don't know. He was injured last year. We don't know.
I'm talking about before that.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of really this year is a great audition period for Ioannidis and Payne. Whoever plays better.
Man,
and here's the thing. If they play at a similar level, whoever's cheaper. But if one dramatically outplays the other, then there's your answer.
Settle's got more sacks than all of them.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well, when you
Settle only plays a certain percentage of snaps, he comes in fresh.
And he still got more sacks than all of them.
It helps. Ryan Kerrigan had a bunch of snaps coming in on only 50 or a bunch of sacks. Yeah, he had like 5 sacks in the first half of the season, playing 15 snaps a game.
What I'm trying to say is if Washington gets rid of if Washington pays one of those guys 18 million or some crazy number like that to play tackle, it's gonna be whoever gets the 18 million and then settles in about 2 years. Playing tackle. That's what it's gonna be, man. I'm just letting you know. It's going to be Settles and whoever they pay $18 million to is going to play tackle.
Well, look at the other thing here, though. All right. After that number 7 mark right now, it goes. Let me read this off to you. It's Aaron Donald at 22.5, DeForest Buckner at 21, Chris Jones at 20, Kenny Clark. Then from 3 to 4, you drop from 20 to 17.5 with Kenny Clark. And it's Fletcher Cox at 17.1, Grady Jarrett at 17, Cameron Hayward at 16.4. Then you drop again another $3 million to number 8 to DJ Reader at 13.250.
Here's my point,
at 13.
Every one of those guys are Pro Bowlers. Allen's not. Every one of those guys are Pro Bowlers. Allen is not.
That's what I was saying. Is he doesn't have those numbers. He's not a Pro Bowl material.
So
hey, what up, Fred? Looking for Big Head Hot Rod.
If he pays $18 million to a dude that's not a Pro Bowler, what are you going to pay to a dude that probably might be a Pro Bowler?
Hey, to answer Fred's question, Rod is still dealing with great value internet at his hotel, so he couldn't make it to the podcast.
No, we're not paying Brandon, Fred. No.
We've already paid Brandon.
Fred says, I'm paying Payne whatever, not breaking up this defense. I'm with you. That's my opinion, too.
I agree with that.
Here's the thing. If you can somehow do a package deal and keep those 3 guys for $30 million, an average of $10 million across the board, fine. That's as high as I'd go.
One of them by laws of average. If we have a number 2, let's say we have a top 5 defense this year, which I think can happen, right? Chances are they're not just going to be one guy making it to the Pro Bowl and the All-Pro this year. They're going to start celebrating the other players. And I guarantee it's going to be one of those guys. And if my eyes aren't fooling me, in my mind, I think Payne is the most talented one out of all of them. I think Ioannidis is probably the most productive. But you're saying, but the only unfortunate thing about this is that Allen is going to get the bigger contract right now because he's first up. It's not because he's
Payne
better
is
than the
also
other
the
guys.
most inconsistent of the three.
Right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If they pay Allen $18 million or some crazy number in about 2 years, it's going to be Allen and Settles at tackle, dog.
Well,
Which I
put
don't
it
have a
this
problem
way:
with that. I
if
like Settles.
look, we can put Allen at number 10 at $12 million. All right, and he could say he's a top 10 defensive tackle, being in terms of salary.
Man, he's
And a
ready to
lot
set
of
the-
that,
he's ready to
and a
try to set
lot
the
of the
market.
salary thing is, and we've talked about it before in this podcast. It's not a matter of are you the best; it's are you first to get signed.
Mhm.
Is it your turn to be up?
Yeah, you don't have to be
Dak
the
Prescott
best.
is not the best quarterback in the NFL, but look at the contract he got.
Yeah, true story. True story. True story.
That's why Sheriff going to get $20 million.
Not
Fuck
from
that.
us.
No, he's gone. Bye, Brandon. See you later, bro.
And
I'm telling you, when we cut Landon and then we cut Sheriff,
you think
there's your
Landon's
money.
going to get cut
Yes.
this
There's
year?
your money to next year.
Okay.
He'll be on the team this year. For all we know, he's going to tear his other Achilles this year. Because you know why? When you tear one, you usually tear the other. That's just science. That's not even right. That John Wall, Junior Gillette. I mean, name your person. D'Angelo Hall. It happens. It's just natural. It's not no fault to the person, but I hope that doesn't happen.
Hall fuck his Achilles up getting pizza box or something?
Making pizza in his home. So he says.
I tore my Achilles by just getting out of my bed and stepping on the shoe.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro. Jeez.
That's some old man shit right there.
Yeah.
Went to work, man. I went to work. It was like partially tore. I thought it was just like a severe ankle sprain. It was killing me, man. I ended up going to the emergency room. They was like, yeah, you partially tore that thing.
Yeah.
And my osteochondrial, whatever. I don't even know what that is. But it's whatever. I think it's what holds on the Achilles or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know.
All right, fellas. Well, let's shut this one down. Kept it to under an hour. Phil, who you got for your shout outs tonight?
Shout out to everybody who has contributed to the comment section. So it's going to be Jason Dunaway. It's going to be Cody Jones. It's going to be Fred. It's going to be Rod, who couldn't make it. And I'm missing someone who shout out to Cody Jones for saying that Dev's been training with Bruce Allen's trainers.
No, man.
God, who did I miss? I missed someone else in the comments.
I've been training with Hainsworth.
Yeah, right. we had one dude from we had Toe and Redskins from the
Redskins. No, someone else too. I'm missing two. But anyway,
shout out to Hainsworth too, man.
Shout out to that dude.
You got a kidney replacement, man. You guys hear about that?
Big Simple 422. Yeah. That's what I forgot. Shout out to you as well. Shout out to everybody in the Addicts, but shout out to those who showed up tonight to leave comments and to contribute. We do this for y'all.
First one of many. What you got, Dev?
Shout out to the child support office for taking double out my check. But oh man. But now shout out to Rod, obviously. Shout out to all the guys who won the fan award, like my man Phil over here. Man, representing the WFA clan very well.
Extraordinary.
Right.
I'm an FAN and a WFA clan.
That's right. But I'm not going. By the way, my darkness will not allow me to go with any member of clans in our name. So we got to. I'm gonna change that now. It's gonna be WFA gang or something. Gang. So we're gonna call it.
Gang.
The Addicts gang.
Well, put it this way. All right, I did 4 shots of whiskey for y'all tonight, so I'll sleep well. Yeah.
There you go.
I got work tomorrow.
Hey, what cup did you use to do your whiskey shots in?
As I said at the beginning of the pod, these custom-made Washington Football Addicts shot glasses that were made by Mr. Dev Shears.
That's me.
There you go. Hey, Jason, thanks for hanging out, bro. We really appreciate the comments and interaction, man. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully, we'll do it next time. Maybe get one of you guys on here to join us. My shout outs, shout out to Rod out in Indiana. He's working, couldn't make it. And hopefully, as we get closer to the season, we'd like to do this more live thing more. Normally we do the canned recordings, but having the interaction is pretty freaking sweet. So we appreciate everything. And we will continue to try to do the best we can, bring some good content, and we love interacting with everybody, and we're just like you. We're no different. We're just fans who like to do this, and we really appreciate everything, and keep the group hopping. DeMar, Daisy, Lamar, Bland, Cody, you guys are just keeping the group live, and it's so awesome. It's on cruise control now, so really appreciate it.
And I'll be honest, some of y'all have been putting up some semi-reckless stuff, Marcus Davis, and I can't respond because I've been on a 30-day Zuck ban.
Yeah.
So I come off of that tomorrow morning.
Oh, he's been posting Red Bull stuff every day. I don't know what you're missing it.
Red Bulls.
Red Bulls is still a thing.
No, it's not.
We are not
letting
Red Bulls die.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This is for everybody who supports the name Red Bulls.
Cobras.
One last bit. That died when I looked at the people who were Red Bull supporters and vocal about it and did not get selected for the Fan Ambassador Network. When I saw that all these dudes got rejection letters, I knew that name has died.
Yeah.
Put shots out there and shit.
Shot.
Booger. Damn, bro.
I've been double fisting them.
You ain't have to shoot down all the Red Wolves fans, man.
I am. Look. Call me Phil Heath because I am the Dream Killer.
The name's not changing.
Shout out to anybody who watches bodybuilding. Knows anything about bodybuilding.
There's gonna be watching
Phil
the
Heath,
football team, bro.
The Dream Killer.
We're gonna be the football team. I like it though. I like football team. Y'all trip or club.
You be killing them. You be killing them. Yes.
Asian Fab.
Asian Fabulous over here.
FABO.
Yeah.
STEVELIM.
Good times. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully we'll have Rod next time, and it's been a pleasure, and appreciate all the interaction. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Feedback is always important. If you think there's something we should do better, let us know. We got thick skin. We're just trying to be better at this. If you tell us we're messing up, think we should do something different, let us know. I mean, it ain't like you're gonna hurt our feelings because we do this for fun, and we just want to do this as best as we can. So
we love
you guys. We love constructive criticism, but if what you say is total bullshit, I will tell you to shove it up your ass.
and then I'll mute him, and then we'll be good.
Right.
All right,
and I'll get sucked for a year because I'll have said something not nice.
Yeah, you're on probation.
You gotta be on your P's and Q's, Phil. You're a fan ambassador now. You gotta walk differently than everybody else, man. You gotta stay on your P's and Q's.
Between being this fan ambassador program and me being one strike away from a 1 year ban on Facebook, I gotta watch myself a little bit.
Right.
That's right. Shout out to Great Value Internet once again. Everywhere.
Suave Internet.
Michigan Swamp Water. Let's go. Peace.
Peace.